So first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed. On the 30th of November, we hit 100 subscribers. That's just amazing. And it might only be a little milestone, but I want to do something to mark the occasion. So I asked you guys to send me in some questions for me to answer. We've got a fair few, so I'm going to answer them for you. Alright, so bring on the questions. Have you lost any friends or family since coming out as transgender? I definitely haven't lost any family. They're all very, very supportive and really just accepting and amazing. And they all call me by my legal name and my preferred pronouns, and they're all absolutely fine and they all respect it and everything, so that's great. And to be fair, I didn't really have many friends before or after coming out as trans, but the few that I did have after I came out as trans, absolutely fine. Again, only have good friends around me, only have good people who are really supportive and really accepting. How did you come out and was everyone accepting? So I came out, basically I was thinking about it for ages and ages and ages when I actually allowed myself to think about it. And one day I basically just came home and I was like, today I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it out of the way. I don't want to leave it any longer. Just get it over and done with, do it, see what they say. So I went upstairs and told my mum and dad that I wanted to speak to them. They came and sat down. I was all ready, all pumped up. I knew exactly what I was going to say. And then as soon as they sat down and went, go on then, I just like froze. And it was like fear sort of setting. I knew they were really supportive and accepting of everything anyway, but there's always that little bit like, what if they don't agree, what if there's, you know, they have a bad reaction or something. So I couldn't physically say it, so I basically just text my mum the 2 words. I just put, I'm transgender. She looked at it, she showed my dad, and then my mum went, and then she just was like, why would that make a difference to anything, you know, you're still our child, whether you're male or female, we still love you, we still accept you, you know, we'll help you through anything that you're going through. And yeah, we had a little talk about it and everything, and it was fine. Obviously it took a little while for him to get used to calling me by Jaden and not my birth name, but yeah, they were fine. And then like the next day my mum went and saw some of my family to go and meet up like every week or something, and she basically told everybody else. She just explained what I said to them and everything, and everyone again was absolutely fine and everybody started calling me Jaden. So yeah, I'm lucky enough to have great friends and great family that are really supportive and really respectful and just don't care who you are as long as you're happy. This one's a little bit long, so I have to read it from my laptop. When transitioning, I worry about losing the one I love and of course constantly being teased about my name and physical transition. Any advice on coping with this so hopefully my depression doesn't get the best of me? First thing I'd say is just try not to worry. I know it's easy to say try not to worry because you can't help if you're worried about something, but from personal experience I spent months and months before I came out, after I actually allowed myself to think about it, because I'd just repress it and not think about it. So I spent months and months researching and worrying about what they were going to say and what questions they were going to ask, what if I didn't have the answers, and then they thought that I wasn't serious and that I didn't know what I was getting into because I didn't have the answer to that question. So I had the answer for like every question. I spent months and months going over and making sure I had the answers, and I absolutely knew myself. And then it turned out I didn't even need to worry. So the best thing to do is just think, well, whether I worry, whether I don't, the outcome's going to be the same. So just try not to think about it too much, try not to get yourself worked up and overwhelmed by it, because then you're just going to set yourself on a path where you're scared to say it, and then it's just going to take way longer and you're going to feel horrible the whole time. And with the teasing thing, if people are going to tease you, they're not the type of people that you want to be bothered about, full stop. There are going to be people out there who don't understand, who are closed-minded, who are just arseholes, and you don't need to worry about them people. The best thing you can do is just hold your head up high, be who you are, and don't give a damn about any of those type of people. In terms of advice, I'd just say, if for example, hypothetically, you did lose the person that you love when you came out, it's a good thing. It might not seem like it would be a good thing, but it is. Because if they're the type of person who doesn't love you for you and just loves you because of your gender, then they're not worth being with in the first place and not someone you want to be with. And regardless, you can't not be you and be living this life forever. You want to be coming out, becoming yourself, being happy, and if they're not happy for you and not willing to at least stay friends and stay close with you, even if they can't be in a relationship with you for their own type of reasons, then they're not worth it. Just hold your head up high, keep walking on, get on with it, you'll be fine. Alright, so 2 people asked, how did I choose my name? And 1 person said, did I go with the first choice or did I swap it around and try different ones out? The way that I chose my name is actually pretty boring. It would just, I always liked that name from being younger when I would play with dolls and brats and stuff like that. I would always have one favourite male one, I'd always call it Jaden. And for some reason I just really liked that name, it just seemed to sort of connect with me. That sounds really cheesy. So when it came to thinking about a name, it wasn't even really a case of thinking about it, it's just that was the first name that came up. And I knew it was like that name, and when I was younger I always thought I'd never be able to have that name because I could never be a boy, and so I was like, oh, if I ever have a son I'll call him that. But obviously I am a boy and I am Jaden, so That's how that works. And no, I never swapped the name around. I did think about, I already knew I was going to be called Jaden. I already knew, but I did think about the fact that what my mum was going to call me, should I have been born, male. And she was going to call me Ryan Thomas, which that name is awful. And I'm glad I didn't decide to go with that, because my mum also still hates that name. Ryan's not something that fits with me, and to be fair, if you're going to be called by a name for the rest of your life, it wants to be something that you're comfortable and like. I've got quite a few questions from the same person, so I'm going to go through them as well. Do you think being trans has made you a better person? I'm not really sure how to answer that, because obviously being trans wasn't something that just all of a sudden happened. I've always been trans, I've just not been out as trans forever. So I guess being out as trans has made me a better person, because obviously I understand, I'm very empathetic towards people. Not that I want anyway, but I think it just gives you a better insight, and you tend to understand people. Like, there's a whole LGBT community that sort of support each other and that I'm a part of, and also I make these videos which I really, really enjoy, and I know that they help some people, because I've been told, and that's the hope for it, is that they help people. And I don't know how to describe it, but I guess I'm a better person because I'm actually me now. What TV shows are you watching right now? I don't actually watch that much TV, to be honest. I normally just watch YouTube. I watched a little bit of I'm a Celebrity when it were on. I watched probably about 4 episodes all in all. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I tend to start watching a few episodes of something and then just drop it, because if I don't get into it straight away, I don't have the attention span to like sit and watch it. And I just forget about it and end up binge watching YouTube instead. So I guess I don't really watch in a TV show, so I ain't got nothing to tell you that I'm watching right now. Top 3 things on your bucket list. I know I did write down a bucket list a while ago, and I can't remember what's on there. I've got my bucket list all written down right here. A lot of these are quite boring, but I'll pick like 3 ones that I really want to do. So I really, really, really want to go scuba diving. I've always wanted to. I just really like fish. They tend to like sort of fascinate me. So it'd be cool to be in the sea and be able to like be up close and be swimming with them. That'd be cool. Learn sign language. For some reason, I've always wanted to learn sign language, and I don't know why. It just really, really, really interests me. I actually did health and social care while I was at school, and I was off quite a lot, so I was ill and stuff. But one of the days I missed was the day where they brought somebody in who was teaching you sort of basics signs for sign language. And I was absolutely gutted that I missed it. It was like the whole year was just pointless. It was pointless anyway, because I didn't get anything out of it. But the whole year was just pointless because I didn't get to learn sign language. Also, visit Australia. Again, it's one of those things that I just really want to do. I've got some family members over in Australia, so it'd be great to be able to meet them, because I've never actually met any of them, because I think they moved away before I was born. So it'd be cool to go and see them. And also, they've got like just awesome animals. They've obviously got terrible ones like poisonous and dangerous and all that kind of stuff, but they've also got nice ones, and it'd be cool to go and see it. And just seems like a really nice place. What job do you want? Well, I'm studying game development in college right now. It's a 2-year course, so it'd be great if I could do something in the games industry. This is the reason that I'm doing it, because it's what I want to do. So yeah, something in the games industry, making games, designing games, concept art, making levels, stuff like that. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a budgie, a tortoise, and a dog. Budgie is Henry, the tortoise is Victor, and the dog is Riley. Alright, so this person says, probably the most common question trans guys get asked, how did you know? I love hearing the different answers. It's quite a cool question like that. So I think it's a bit hard to explain how you knew, to be honest. When I was younger, I was always kind of, a tomboy. I always liked doing sort of stereotypically boy things. I used to steal my brother's Action Men to like play alongside my Barbies, because I felt there were too many girls. I used to play football with boys at school, and a lot of the times they were like, oh no, you're a girl, go away, you can't play football with us. And then I'd like just boss it, and then everybody wanted me on their team because I was way better than most of them. So I was always kind of leaning towards what the boys wanted to do. I always felt like I fitted in better with the boys than I did with the girls. In summer, when all the grass had been cut and they were all getting all the dry grass and making nests and putting flowers in and making them all pretty, I was the one that'd be kicking them over and putting grass down people's tops and throwing it at people. So I never really did, I did hang about with girls, because that's, what girls did, and if I couldn't go and do stuff with the boys, I would hang about with the girls, but I wasn't really into a lot of what they did. Obviously there's a lot of things that, sort of built up to me knowing, but those are sort of the earlier things. I should probably actually do a video about, like, fully how I knew and, the story. Probably be a long video though. Is there a weird combination of food you like to eat? It says example, cereal with juice instead of milk. That's disgusting. Definitely not that. I don't eat a lot of interesting foods. I don't know. I used to live off of like packet noodles that you just make with boiling water. Probably In America, probably, I think they're called ramen noodles or something. But I used to live off of them, and I used to cut up hot dog sausages and put the hot dog sausages in with them. I don't know if that's a normal thing, if that's a weird thing. I never knew anybody else do it. I also used to, when we went to McDonald's, I used to dip my chicken nuggets and my chips in my milkshake and eat them. But I've heard of people doing that. It's a split opinion, because you either get people going, that's absolutely disgusting, or people going, I've done that before, it's actually really nice. You should try it, it's actually nice. God, I haven't done that in years. I haven't had McDonald's in forever. Have you come out to your parents yet, and how did they react? Yes. Yes, I have. The coming out question kind of covered that. But yeah, they reacted fine. They were, obviously it took a little bit to adapt. My mum did describe it as sort of like, she was happy and she was happy that I was happy, but it was like sort of a grieving process, because even though I was happy and I'm still the same person, they had in a sense lost a daughter but gained a son. But yeah, like a couple of months in, everything were as if it'd always been that way and everything's fine. And yeah, just really accepting, really awesome parents, really awesome family in general. So how tall are you? Not very. I'm 5'3", so I'm short as hell. Thanks for that question, by the way. Great, thank you for exposing me as being a short ass. I like this question. It says, how did you know you wanted to move forward with your transition, and what does transition mean for you? Well, I knew I wanted to move forward with my transition because, you know, I'd known before I came out for years and years that I was trans. And I told one friend, who I'm still friends with, by the way, but as soon as I told her, I like retracted it and I was like, no, it can't be out there, whatever, and I just pushed it down. And over those years, I knew that it wasn't right. I always hated the way that I looked, I always hated my body, I always wished that I had a flat chest. And I just really wasn't happy with the way that it is. It's not me, it doesn't fit how I feel, it's not. Just generally, you know, how most trans people feel, your body doesn't match with the person that you are. You feel like it should match the outside with the inside. So obviously at first, I didn't really know what surgery and stuff like that, physical transition, medical transition, what that entailed. So obviously I researched it, had a look, looked at different options for bottom surgery, looked at what would I qualify for in terms of top surgery, and to be honest, I don't think it would have mattered if it was a million operations over 15-20 years, if it would have cost me £1 million, if there was like a 99.9% chance that I wouldn't have come out of the surgery, I would have done it, because there's no way that I could live with the way that I am right now, like physically. Obviously myself, I'm fine, but like the outside is not cool. What does transition mean for you? That's kind of vague. In terms of what I don't want to do medically, it would be hormones, testosterone, top surgery and bottom surgery. So sort of the whole of what you could do to medically transition. In terms of what does it mean, like what's the meaning behind it, it's basically just making me into me. Like I'm me, probably about 85%. That last 15% is just the outer shell. So it's just kind of making me fully into me, like a transformer. Like they're a car, but they could transform and they can be like this big buff robot thing. That were a bad example. I don't want to be a transformer, I don't want to be a robot. It's just making me into me, helping me to be completely 100% happy with the way that I am, both physically as well as my personality and the way that I am. Do you have tips to subtly be masculine? Again, that question's a little bit vague. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by sort of subtly masculine. So I'm not really sure how to answer your question, but the last video that I made, it's tips to pass as male in public, hopefully might help you out a little bit, might just answer the question a little bit. If not, like personal message me or something, try and explain a little bit more and I'll try and give you a better answer, but for now I'm not sure how to answer that. But go and check out the video, I'll leave the link in the description, in the cards and on the end slide. Alright, so we're on the last question, and it's a good one. I like this for an ending, it's quite nice. What is your biggest dream and why did you choose to start making videos? Biggest dream? Oh, I don't know. Really don't know. I have a dream. I honestly don't. Biggest dream? I don't know. I don't want to say I don't have a dream. I have things that I want to do, but they're not massive, big, ultimate life goal things. I guess that the end goal in life would be to end life fully transitioned. That seems like a really weird and very just cliche for the type of video that I'm making, trans related. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, and to be honest, that is the biggest thing, because without being me, I wouldn't be here. So I guess that's sort of life goal, fully transition, be fully me. And why did you choose to start making videos? A couple of reasons. First reason is in the hopes that I can make these videos and to help some people out, and so far I would say that I've achieved that at least a little bit, because I have been told by a fair few people that my videos have really helped them and that they found them really interesting and stuff like that. And also, I'm making this video 2 weeks after we hit 100 subscribers, and we're already on 140 subscribers. 140 people click subscribe because they must have liked something about the videos, so that's potential to help 140 people, which I'm really, really happy about. And then obviously the obvious reasons, that's documenting my transition, being able to look back on it, and just because I generally enjoy it, it gives me something to do, and I like feeling like a hobby that I have, something that I do in my spare time, has the potential to make a difference to at least one person, which is great. Alright, so on that note, that's all the questions. I hope I answered them okay. I hope that you found the video interesting, helpful, you know. So again, thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you for getting us to 100 subscribers, and now we're at 140 subscribers. We could be at 150 by Christmas. That's awesome. So thank you for watching, come along my journey, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.